For this example, I'm going to do this one using nothing but my graphing calculator. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to type in x squared plus 2x minus 24 and graph it. Now here's what's going on. We're basically solving this equation. Greater than or equal to 0. And what that means is I'm looking at the graph. Now, we're looking at the y values. These are all y values. We're looking for where the y's are greater than or equal to 0. Well, they're equal to 0 on the x-axis. They're greater than 0 above the x-axis. And they're less than 0 below the y-axis, or below the x-axis. So all of this is less than 0 or negative. All on the x-axis, all the y values are 0, and above the x-axis, all the y values are positive. If you look here, it looks like we have 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7 or negative 6. Negative 6. You can use the table, or you just use the trace feature. If you hit trace 4, enter, you'll see the 0. And then negative 6, enter, you'll see a 0 also. So the graph looks something like this. Don't really care about up and down, I only care about where it crosses. And the fact that it's up here, these are positive. Down here, this is all negative. And then up here, this is positive. And we want greater than or equal to 0, which means we don't look there whatsoever. So our answer is actually going to be in this interval and that interval. So we're looking left or right. So we're coming from negative infinity to negative 6. Can't include infinity, but is negative 6 included? Yes, because that's where it's equal to 0. So we use a bracket. And then we also have it from, looks like 4 to infinity. So we use a bracket, close parentheses for the same reasoning. And that's the answer. Now I want to show you something. I can go ahead and type in greater than or equal to 0. So second math for 0 graph. What this does is it actually shows you the solution. It's not the graph, it's not this graph, it's a solution. It's just the interval. See that? That's negative 6. So it goes from negative infinity to negative 6, and then 4 to infinity. What does the table show us? Nothing good. So anywhere you see a 1, the table really doesn't show us much of anything, does it? Let's see what does it. Negative 6 and then 4. Kind of misleading. So it's just better to look at the graph. And that's what I typed in. Notice I typed in the whole thing, including the inequality symbols. So it actually gives you the solution. It doesn't give you these numbers. You actually have to do what I did before and do the trace feature or the table feature. You see the 4 and the negative 6, or the quadratic formula or factor. But this is the solution right here. You may or may not need to put a U in there. It just depends how it wants you to answer it. I personally prefer the U, but it just depends. And that's it.